Yo, what's good, y'all, man? We got Marvel Studios Secret Wars release date and original Marvel Studio Phase 4 plan reveal. So, yeah, like it up. So my channel, we got a lot of news for us today, on the Friday, and yeah, like it up, sub, and yeah, let's get it.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, while it's not the majority, there is a growing contingency within the fan base, a small murmur that's made its way now into headlines on both the industry insider editorials and YouTube channels alike, that Marvel Phase 4 is a mess and actually has no direction. And while I would argue it's quite the opposite. And
Wait, what? Wait, what don't got no direction? I was looking at something. I'm looking at my phone. Wait, what don't got no direction? Let me see. Let me go back a little bit. Though.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, while it's not the majority, there is a growing contingency within the fan base, a small murmur that's made its way now into headlines on both the industry insider editorials and YouTube channels alike, that Marvel Phase 4 is a mess and actually has no direction. And while I would argue it's quite the opposite, and I'll touch on that during this video, we actually have a huge industry insider update coming from one of our most trusted, someone who's had their own running editorial for over 2 years, very public contacts in Marvel Studios, and of course a great track record to boot, indicating that heading into Phase 4, Marvel Studios had a plan, confirmed the next major crossover as Secret Wars, and even offered up an original release date.
Yeah, everybody all concerned, like, you know, because they seeing all these like different shows. I mean, it's connected. I mean, well, that's why it's called Multiverse of Madness. Loki started the multiverse. You know, he started the whole thing. So that's why everything is all out of place. You know what I mean? So it's like you just gotta go with the flow. That's what I'm just going with the flow. With a lot of all these shows, I'm just going with the flow. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, I'm having a good time with it. No cap. You know, I know a lot of people is too, but some people got that worry a little, like, oh shit, I don't know, fans all looking kind of looking crazy though, type of shit. But you know, me, I'm going to flow with the shit though, no cap.
For the very first film, we're going to talk about where this is coming from, this update in full, how
Secret Wars, man. I think everybody waiting for this shit. I mean, everybody waiting for this shit, no cap.
Affects the future of Marvel Phase 4, and how really not much has changed at all, and Marvel Phase 4 is not a mess. We're breaking it all down.
Yeah, I mean, I already know it's not a mess, but a lot of people, you know, I told you, you got them complain groups. You got them complain groups gonna complain everything. It could be a good ass movie. They gonna say something about the movie though, or the show. You know what I mean? Hey, that's called a complain group. I'm telling y'all.
But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, to the occasional industry insider scoop like we're covering today, and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. In fact, we just dinged the next milestone at 960, and we'll be announcing a brand new winner at the end of this video, so make sure to stick around for that. Okay, so jumping right into it, this is coming from industry insider Charles Murphy. He's the editor-in-chief over at Murphy's Multiverse, and as I mentioned in the prologue, extremely vetted, very open contacts to Marvel Studios, a great track record. This is not some anonymous 4chan plot leak and or a post on Reddit. He indicated yesterday that the original plan for Marvel Studios headed into Phase 4 was a major crossover event in Secret Wars, and even that they had a...
So that was their main plan, like, you know, just like Infinity Wars and what's the other one? I forgot it, but yeah, the other one.
Time frame to get there and release the film. That the first one would have been released in May of 2024. It also went on to indicate that that was the plan pre-pandemic, and after all of the changes that have happened to Marvel Studios, that date can't possibly be correct. Now, when I mention all of the changes that happened to Marvel Studios, it's quick to dismiss it as a 1-year delay. We had 1 year of COVID in 2020.
I mean, it kind of was a 1 year delay because we ain't had nothing that whole year. Well, when was that? Like 2019, 2020 type shit?
Marvel movies started coming out again in 2021.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we had like 1 year delay. I would say, you know, any Marvel people, 1 year delay.
But in fact, it is much, much more than that. Black Widow should have been released in spring of...
Yeah, that's what I was saying. When they said releasing Black Widow, I'm like, that movie supposed to be in, but like I said, something happened in the world. You feel me? And they had to push everything back. But yeah, Black Widow should have been out. You know that's why they put it on Disney Plus and in the theater. But you already know what happened with that shit. They were a lot of problems. If y'all know, y'all check the video out. You know what I'm saying? Why? I talked about it, but yeah, they should did push that way back. But yeah, y'all know what happened and shit.
When it comes to trimming your balls, always use the right tool for the job.
Manscaped is the only 2020 and didn't come out until fall of 2021, closer to a full year and a half delay. Then, once Black Widow finally came out in September, it was only a couple of months later, right before Eternals release, that Marvel Studios had another major delay, again, as Kevin Feige put it, a change in production schedule, and kicked every movie over one release date on the already announced Marvel Phase 4 slate. And even within the last 60 days, Marvel Studios announced a switch for Ant-Man and the Marvels on the release schedule for just next year. There are still changes and delays happening in Marvel Phase 4, all because of that original almost 2-year pandemic delay, which led to characters.
That's pretty much why everything changed, because of that. You know what I mean?
Not being able to make the cameos that they were supposed to because of restrictions, on top of Marvel Studios admitting very publicly that they had no idea which order some of these shows and movies would come out in. And for a Marvel Cinematic Universe that basically built its marquee on being the first interconnected universe this large and this connected, it would have been very, very hard for them to do it well in Marvel Phase 4 with no delay. They went from 2 or 3 films a year to 4 films a year with 4 or more TV shows on Disney+. You add the pandemic on top of that, and they don't deserve any condemning for how things ended up in Marvel Phase 4, rather praise that it's not a bigger mess than it already was. And the way that they handled not knowing which order the shows would come out in and characters not being able to make cameos was they kept it simple. They kept it insular. WandaVision wraps up at the end of the series without a long-standing impact that other shows and other heroes would have to acknowledge. Also, Marvel Studios has found a way in each one of these TV shows and movies, for the most part, to show the long-lasting effects and permanence of the blip and snap that took place during the Infinity Saga. A lot of brand new characters to introduce, a lot of new threads before you can all weave them together. But for real, the only thing that had to happen happened. What happened during Loki, when Loki and Sylvie killed the He Who Remains version of Kang.
Everything broke off.
And set the multiverse loose.
Everything cracks, broke off. So that's why I'm thinking it is. Everything just out of order. That's what Loki started it. Loki started the whole multiverse madness. You know what I'm saying? This in the movie, the screen is everywhere. You know what I mean? So it's like everything went, loop to loop. This way. It's kind of going this way. Everything loop to loop.
That predicates what happens in Spider-Man No Way Home, why the spell doesn't go right for Doctor Strange, and how these incursions are now happening in between universes, where before this wasn't an issue because He Who Remains was able to keep them all in check. Now, circling back to this report that indeed Secret Wars is the next major crossover, there has been evidence of this over the last couple of years. I ran a story in the very, very early part of this year where Jim Shooter, the original writer on the 1980s version of Secret Wars, was recently reached out to by Marvel Studios trying to secure a work-for-hire contract. He was at a con down in Orlando, and what he was explaining though was, even though that was work-for-hire back then, basically they paid him to create the story. That intellectual property as an artist is not him. He did it on the clock for Marvel Studios. That some of these artists, because of the lack of contracts here, have come back after Marvel Studios for the rights for these characters. Marvel is now doing diligence, going to each writer and artist, trying to make sure that they have a current work for hire in place, and even dangling checks between $10,000 and $15,000.
Damn, $10,000 and $15,000. That's Marvel's plus Disney. They got that money, no cap.
Jim Shooter, the original writer,
they got that money though, no cap.
openly talking about this at a Comic-Con in Orlando, basically making the point that they wouldn't be doing this. They wouldn't be trying to secure all of these contracts if they weren't leading to a Secret Wars storyline. And there have been more than enough subtle Easter eggs to show it's coming, not just what happened in Doctor Strange with the incursions, but little things like Titania, the supervillain in She-Hulk. She's from the original 1980s run, gets her whole power setup from Doctor Doom leading into the Secret Wars storyline. Oh, and we have a symbiote in the MCU now who's probably going to attach to Peter Parker.
Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder, yeah. If they go that route, because I heard like some copyright issue with Sony, so you know, the symbol or that, you know, that black shit. So yeah, they might change the origin story of his story and shit, but we see when we watch the movie type shit. We see.
Where else is he going? And that also originally happened in the 1980s Secret Wars. So doing what Marvel Studios does, borrowing all the little parts they want from the various Secret Wars runs and the characters that we've got, there is no doubt that it's heading to it. Now, there are 4 dates open on the 2024 Marvel Studios release schedule. Although they seem to have moved to 3 movies a year, so I'm skeptical we'll get 4 in 2024. None of them will be Secret Wars. In fact, quite honestly, the original release was for May 2024. It could be 2026 at this point. But the longer it takes them to get there, the more characters and storylines, the more things they're able to explain in the meantime. So I am certainly in no rush. You shouldn't be either. And if you are one of the small group of...
Yeah, I was a look. Like I said, take their time, boy. I'm not in no rush for no Secret Wars. You know what I mean? Take their time, no cap.
Fandom who thinks that Marvel Phase 4 is a mess and has no direction. Remember, even though Thanos was a post-credit scene in the Avengers, Marvel Studios admitted they had no idea where they were going in Marvel's Phase 1 through 3, and they still did a great job. So with that in mind and trusting in Kevin Feige, knowing that they have at least some more direction and assurance of a future now than they did back then, guys, don't panic. Honestly, they did a great job in the face of the pandemic. Guys, let me know all your thoughts and reactions down below. A, are you hyped for Secret Wars, and exactly how do you think this is going to pan out? Do we get God Emperor Doom, or does it just end up being Kang as the main villain for that? And, of course, if you disagree and think Marvel Phase 4 is a mess, as long as you keep it academic, I'll converse with you down in the comments. Speaking of which, let's get into the next PS5 winner.
Yeah, because some people be acting crazy with the comment section, man. I ain't gonna lie. But nah, I think it's just, you know, like Loki started the multiverse madness. Everything going crazy, you know what I mean? But hey, I'm just going to flow with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking with all these shows. Except for yeah, I'm fucking with all these shows though. And yeah, but hey, leave a like to my channel. That was the news right there, y'all. So hey, like it up. Let me know what y'all think. You know, let me know in the comment below, y'all. Let me know in the comment below. But yeah, like, sub, and yeah, alright. Peace.